All right, we'll call the pre-council to order. A copy of the Open Meetings Act is in the back of the room. Talk about our website, Diane, Justin. Do your thing.
Good afternoon. I'm Diane Gonzalez with the Citizen Information Center, and this is Justin Comacher, our Internet Support Specialist. The two of us met with Lyrian and Trent a few weeks ago, probably longer than that, but summer's gone fast. And we discussed some changes that they wanted to suggest for the council website. And so Justin has been working on that. It's not all the way done, but he wants to show you his progress today. So I will turn it over to Justin. Justin Comacher.
All right. This is the new proposed front page of the council website. One of the goals was to get a lot more of the information accessible via as few clicks as possible, as opposed to your current site, which is basically like a list of 7 links, and then you kind of just go from there. So we've got the your banner photo that you were all very patient with, that one really incredibly hot day. I also found a way, at Trent's suggestion, to get people to the very latest agenda without having to go to the agenda page first. So right now, this front page is everything on here is essentially automatic. Everything, the few dynamic pieces of content here require no updating by anyone, which is handy to cut down some of the actual work that we've got to do. So for instance, if you just hit the latest agenda, it will always go to the very latest agenda. We also added a district map, and then we've got links to both YouTube and 5 City TV. We still need to do some work on verbiage and explaining maybe some of these. I'd also like to have maybe a little bit more on the Action Center, so we can really send people there if that's what they really need to be going to instead of a council member for a contact.
Are all of our best meetings on YouTube?
To a certain point, they are.
Many of them are.
Scary.
We're also listing the, right now I've just got it set to show the 3 upcoming council meetings. Currently there aren't any other meetings entered into our internal calendar for the city council. And right now Sony in the clerk's office enters these for the year. So it's essentially the same thing. You'll see every single thing's just city council meeting, and then we've got our times and location, etc., the things that don't ever change.
On that, would we want to put like the open mic session, or is that getting too bold and encouraging people to come?
We can do anything. That all depends on who's entering the information in the calendar. So we just need to talk to Sony. So she would just need to add some extra content to that calendar entry. And then just a couple of blurbs down here at the bottom. This needs to be rewritten as well. Just a lot of this content, was taken from the Denver City Council website, and which was proposed as kind of an example to follow, or one of the examples to follow. And I just changed it out so it would make a little more sense. So ignore some of the text. Some of the text is dummy text. So the next page in line is the actual council members page, where I'm trying some things with color coding and our district map to try and really make it obvious who's governing what area. So I've added a dynamic Google map too, that's got each district plotted, and then it shows who is in charge of each district. I'm not really sure how to deal with the at-large members right now. I'm including them in every single one. I could definitely use suggestions on how to organize some of this information if anyone has any. And then all of these links go to individual council member pages. So I've only got one of these marked up currently. I don't want to do too much work before you have ideas about what I should do. But they would just go to individual council pages, and then each of these pages will have a contact form on them, as well as the contact page, which will be a general contact form, and then it will also allow the user to choose if they'd like to email just one counselor or multiples or all of them. We've reorganized the meetings, agendas, and minutes page to make it look a little more friendly. Nothing much has changed really, other than the way it looks, the way it's styled right now. One of the better things about organizing it this way is the entire site is also responsive. So as we go to different devices, say a tablet, the information actually rearranges itself by itself. So we don't need to waste, our time on multiple websites or on a mobile website or something like that. This is a lot more navigable on a phone than, for instance, a big table, which you would likely want to use on a bigger screen, like your PC.
One question I have just with the directors and organizational meeting, because it's combined, should that just be one column with an agenda that reflects that the two meetings are combined? That's the old setup before we combine the meetings, so we might need to revise that.
Yeah.
Have we decided that approach?
Well, I guess I don't know that we have, but.
I did notice the last maybe 8, 9, 10 meetings, that column is now empty. I just wasn't sure.
Sure. We didn't
I just
do
need
that
to be,
information.
told on that one.
Yeah.
And then the bulk of the rest of the site is just text stuff that needs to be updated. Lyrian sent me a list of frequently asked questions, so I have a start for questions to
Do you want to show them?
work into that.
There's
There's
feedback.
there's nothing up there right now. I haven't marked anything up. It'd be easier if I could forward what you sent to everyone so they could.
Sure.
I was kind of wondering, you might all have input on something like frequently asked questions or the about page. And so those are things, this is all up on the test web server. So you'll be able to access it if you're on the network here in the city and look through things. I can get the frequently asked questions marked up this afternoon if you want them on the site so people can actually read them
I
there.
just assume that's what we would do during this meeting, is that they would give them something to react to, and they could all give input. I know Teresa and Mary may have some input as well, but it doesn't matter, I guess, if you'd rather email.
Yeah, I think it might
I mean, I
be
could do
easier
that.
than trying to
Yeah.
do all of us
Okay.
adding to questions as we sit here. It's something I'm gonna need to compile because half of people have redundant ideas. So I could just get everything and then I can filter them out into the categories. Does that make sense? Would that?
Do the frequently asked questions have the answers?
Yeah. Yeah, and it actually had text for that area. You said you had dummy text. There was stuff that could fill those
Ideas of
slots
things
too.
to ask.
What's
What's that?
the meaning of life, universe, and everything?
No,
Well,
I
the
just.
description of Lincoln City Council was part of the frequently asked questions content. So if you said you pulled it from Denver, you could also pull it
Yes,
a draft
yes.
from what I sent you.
I've honestly really focused a lot of my time on getting this map to work, which is what I had some struggles with. So I have not gone into that. That stuff is kind of later for me. When I start working on this, I want all of the important things to work. Any other questions?
Now, is this all on site now, or this is just?
This is not.
So if we want to look at this, how do we see this?
It's on our test site, so I'll say I can send a link to everyone that's got the test website. You will,
Okay.
like I said, need to be in the building or on the city's network through a VPN or something like that to access the site.
So we can't go online and there's some.
Not
Yeah, because
technically right now you can, because I'm online just to show you this, but I'm taking it down right after this meeting.
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna go online.
I love the interface. I think it looks so much crisper and cleaner than what was there
Yeah.
before. I think how you have things stacked, especially on the first page where you have direct links that go to things. I mean, that was the one thing that I thought was pretty critical to it. But yeah, you've really put the guts together of what we were looking for. It's just maybe a little bit of polishing on language and other things to get it to be just right. But I really like the way it looks.
like with most websites, the website's never really completely finished.
No, it's always a work in progress.
I think what would be helpful for us is if you have suggestions on things you want to add, things you want to take off, if you could somehow arrive at a group decision, because if Justin hears from one council member that they want something on, and then he hears from
Yeah.
another one that says, why did you put that on? It's going to be confusing for Justin. So
Yeah.
we need to have like a group decision on changes and other ideas for the website, so.
So should we funnel the comments to you, Lorraine? Are you that point person, or?
I think I am.
Duly elected.
And we'll get the bulk of, I mean, the goal with frequently asked questions and the goal of the front page, one of the major goals from my perspective was trying to make it very easy for people to understand how they can communicate with us, how they can reach us, how they can testify in person, how and when and where. So I love that, he was able to put in some of those links and make it very clear when the next meeting is. And I think some of those links to past meetings also will help people understand how it works. And given that we have resolutions and ordinances and that the votes are in different cycles for those, I think you'll see that the frequently asked questions tries to flesh out our process more for people so that it's crystal clear as our process can be.
Right. That'll be
Do
helpful.
your frequently asked questions include how to testify before the city council?
How to submit and
Okay. All right.
Like first, second, third reading is a big one.
that it has
Yeah.
that. But I mean, if you have suggestions about how to make it more clear, I'd welcome them. It's a draft.
The way you're proposing to go on it, I think I must have the old on here now, or out of the building, but regardless, so go on to lincoln.ne.gov. How do you get from there to that?
I'll have to, the actual URL will be testweb.lincoln.ne.gov/ I'll send you
I'm
links.
sorry, I was thinking permanently when we get there.
It will be the
Same way.
exact same as it is now.
Well, is there a way, I've always found that to be, for the lay people, well, I should say, for most people, it's kind of confusing because you have to go down there you got to know it's government to hit that, and then you get Lincoln, then city council.
There's a link right next to the hot box too
Yeah.
that goes directly to city council, and you can use the keyword, I believe, council, to also get straight to the city council site.
Okay, where's this hot box?
And that, you're totally right, even though the link is on the front page, it's not particularly easy to see. Our front page will be looking more like this too as soon as possible.
The hot box is in one
Justin, when you say the front page, you mean the main
Yes.
city? Oh, great.
Yes, it's
That's
been a
great.
very, very long work in progress, but
Yay.
it is getting done.
So I guess the next question is, when does the rest of the city website start looking like?
They have been. So right now,
Some of them have been, but the main
Right.
page?
It's
We're
been,
always still. No, I was talking about the main page, not this one, but when
it's
you.
been a long process.
one of our main goals was to try and start granularly and then go out. So we've started with departments, so like building and safety, planning. We've gotten those out of the way, aging, health, and then we kind of work our way up to the very front page. So it's kind of it's a slow way for the user to get used to changes because the front page is always the same, and that's where the majority of our people go to find the other pages. So they're being exposed to it kind of slowly, department by department.
We also didn't want people to see a brand-new, nice homepage, and then when they clicked on something,
Yeah.
it was the same old. We wanted, when we have a new homepage, we want the whole site to be ready to go. And it's a huge site.
40,000 pages.
40,000 pages.
Couple things. With contacting us, I think that we probably could get away with just contact a council member, and if you click on that, have a place where you can contact all of us at once. I don't know the council packet, that's kind of our our jargon. I don't know that I would click on that and know what I was clicking on. And it goes to all, I think that's the one that goes to all of us anyway, or it goes to Mary. But really, if people want to email us, there's no reason it has to go through 2 steps. It could just go to all of us automatically. So that would be a suggestion. If everyone else agrees, I would like to make that suggestion.
I think that's good.
The other thing is, one of the concerns we've had is searchability. So I recognize that when we talked about that issue before, that goes beyond like what you're focused on right here, but do you have any updates for us on IS and the ability to search through our agenda by keywords or?
Well, I mean, not really. That's something I have no control over and no input in. I will be working with a couple of people from IS to go over some of the changes with them, and that is on our agenda to talk about ease of use. Currently, it is a mess.
And just for the,
Technical term?
for the newer council members, what CIC does in terms of the website is we're in charge of content and design. But in terms of the technical aspects of it, that's more of an IS issue. Justin, of course, works very closely with IS, but CIC does the content and the design, generally.
So when we do a search, it's IS's.
Though you can add keywords, right?
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, keywords are no problem. We can. It's different though when you're, we can't add a keyword for literally every single thing. So, I mean, if you're searching for a particular amendment or something like that, it's right now you get a lot of results and it can be difficult to wade through.
Looks good.
Looks good.
Just think of how terrible that a picture with that marble background in the other room would have looked on this and now we have this cool picture with the Ascent in the background, and we look like we're in a vibrant city rather
It's a
than.
lot less sterile
Yeah.
than generic council
It
photos.
really fits in nicely. I really like it.
And I'm so glad we're so photogenic too.
Well, there was some photoshopping done.
There was a lot of Photoshop.
Mostly the
Just
chair's
kidding.
head and
I
face.
noticed I lost my right arm.
Oh, well.
Oh, no.
But you can see all of Jane's head, so that's.
Well, that's important,
Yeah.
really. That's like the priority.
It looks nice.
And you can't see the back of mine, so we're all good.
I will get the frequently asked questions that Lyrian gave me up this afternoon, and then should I send the link to the test website to Mary?
Yeah,
Or-
and then Mary can send it out.
Okay.
Because I want to see the questions.
So then you can look at this kind of at your leisure too.
Okay.
Great. Larry, how many questions did you submit so far?
I think it was like
Number.
10 or 11, something like that.
And I tried to explain what we do, so if I left some stuff out, which I probably did,
Could you
feel
just
free to.
an email to send to us so that we're not here in
Sure.
the building that
Yes.
way?
It was meant as a draft to react to give something to get
So
feedback.
we can add to it.
Criticize, I'm just asking, but if it was a million, but.
Add,
it's 10.
suggest changes, it's meant to try and bring clarity.
Yeah, that's great.
It looks good.
All right,
Thank you.
Yay.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right. 10 minutes?
Minutes.
Minutes.